Hi, welcome to Jeremy's Tech Channel, and today we're going to take a look at Deepin 20.5. Today we're going to take a look at Deepin 20.5. It's a Linux distribution that the team is based in China. It is a Debian stable spin, as you will, with their own desktop environment, the Deepin desktop environment. Let's go over to the website and let's see what they say. In this new release, they talk about a face recognition situation. I don't know how you feel about that. That's something that they're promoting. You can pin your screenshots, okay. Looks like they've got a new mail app, a new app store, their grand search. And then they talk about some of their change logs here. The stable kernel is 5.1, 5.24. We can check and make sure that is the case. These are all of that, which you can see on the website on your own time at deepin.org. Let's get one thing out of the way. There is some controversy with Deepin. Essentially, there was some claims of it being spyware, and I'm not sure if that's true or not. But what I can tell you is I went through the install process, and there was a end user license agreement that you had to select to be able to install it. If you have been around the open source community for any amount of time, this is not normal. I've run through probably 20 to 30 distributions in this short amount of time. And this is the first time I've seen that. So if you feel uncomfortable with signing an end user license agreement or EULA, this distribution is not for you. But fear not. If you do like the look of this desktop environment, there are some other distributions. Ubuntu is an example that has a Deepin spin. I believe Manjaro does as well. You can correct me if I'm wrong on that. I just wanted to make that clear before I get into this and you go, yes, Deepin, it's awesome. And then you see that end user license agreement check and you're like, I'm not doing that. Everyone has their own reasons, but I wanted to give that full disclosure. Now, I did agree to it on my virtual machine. This is what you are greeted with once you get into that basic install set. I'm going to move my face out of the way real quick, and this is what you're greeted with. I'm going to watch the video real quick, and I'll give you a synopsis here. I watched the video. It's pretty. They do a decent job of beautifully showing what the features are in this update. For instance, light and dark themes, some of their application updates that they use that are Deepin specific. Here we go. I'm going to click next. Do I want the fashion mode or the efficient mode? I chose the fashion mode, effect mode. Then they have some icon themes here. And I have never been in the Deepin desktop environment, so I'm going to be learning as we go here, and we'll see what we find. Right-clicking looks like they are expecting someone to use the desktop itself. You can add a new folder, a new document. There we go, and our display settings are right there. And I want to save that. Very cool. And check it out. There's some scaling here. I'm going to have to log out to allow for the scaling to happen to make it easier for some of y'all to see on your phone screens. And there's some really funky sounds. Okay, I guess people like sounds. This is very pretty. I just had spent the last 12 years of my life in Mac, and I visually am very much at home. So let's take a look even more. You've got your wallpaper and screensaver situation. These are very beautiful and Mac-like. I'll just say it like that. I mean, come on. That's very much a Mac-like situation. But okay, we'll do that. And then you've got your screensaver, and it looks like you have some of your things to define here when the screensaver comes on. All right, that's pretty cool. Do I use screensavers? Oh my goodness, it's the old toasters. I might be using some screensavers if I get the flying toasters. Man, that's cool. I typically like to have my screen just go dark on a lock screen situation, but I think this is great. Only on desktop or only on lock screen, you can choose between the two. Great. But why didn't it? But I selected the sweet fish. Only desktop. Okay, got to make the selection. That makes sense. Okay, cool. Next, let's open in terminal. Okay, look, here's their terminal. I don't know if they're going to have this. Let's see. They do not have NeoFetch on here. Let's see if they have top. Okay, we are using about a gig of RAM. I don't see too many things running here, and I see KWin. So I'm guessing this is based on some of the Qt or the Qt stuff from the KDE team. I see KWorker there. Okay, that's cool. This is very visually pleasing to me. Look at this. User feedback. It looks like it sends you to like a forum that you can express your feelings, if you will. That's fine. You've got what looks like, okay, a launcher. We just saw the browser, a file manager. Whoa, this is pretty sharp looking. I really do like the look of this. It's reading my data disk. You can work this very easy. It's nothing that you couldn't do. I'm going to click on this. So their little introduction video is sitting in the videos folder. Now, what I did notice is when I clicked on this, it's looking like it's a dark theme, but the windows are a light theme. I don't understand that, honestly, and if that was intentional or not. But I will say, I like these minimize, maximize screens and the close window buttons. What is this guy? Tell you what, let's go to File Manager again. I'm guessing this is, just a Show Desktop button. This is a multitasking view. Looks like you've got multiple workspaces. There, now I'm on workspace 2. Great. You can see there's different wallpaper for that. Now, what about switching that? Okay, so I'm holding the super key, which is the window key on my computer, and I'm able to switch between the workspaces. My goodness. So you can drag across there. Boom. Cool. This, like we just showed, was the browser. This is their app store, the App Store. I don't know if you can see this. This is kind of cut off here. But whatever. You can install OpenShot, Audacity, GIMP, all the basic things that you're used to seeing and installing. So I'm going to take a look at OpenShot here. And let's just see. Create desktop icons once installed. Well, I don't want that. Let's see if it actually does that. OpenShot is just a video editing software that I'm going to take a look at some point. I'm using DaVinci Resolve for all my video editing, but I do like me some open source. So if I can find one that can replace the functionality of DaVinci Resolve, then I will. This shouldn't take too long to install, and it's taking a decent amount. I don't know if that's because I am on a virtual machine. It did, when I got Deepin going, there was a notification letting me know, hey, we see that we've detected that you're running on a virtual machine. You may not get the most optimal performance. So I'm not going to gig them for that too much. So here we go. I can open up OpenShot directly from my install. You get a little tutorial. Anyways, boom. Here it is. Cool. Very nice. Now you can also update. Looks like there's 4 apps ready for update right here. Bootmaker, okay, movie, that's what we just checked out. Very cool. So now we've gone over here. This is what's called Album, and it looks very Mac-like, but you understand how working with photos works, so I'm just going to keep moving on. Add music. Looks like there's this sweet sound. We've added it. You can minimize the system tray or exit. Okay, little things like this for user experience is quite nice. You may just want to just minimize this. So let's do that. Let's just minimize it. And it's sitting right here in the system tray over here. Very cool. Here is their calendar. It's got a light or dark theme or system theme. I guess you can always have it as a light theme. Week, day, month, year, it's a calendar. But it looks nice. That icon looks very familiar. And here we are in the control center is what they're calling this. Control center. By the way, looks like OpenShot is sitting right here on the desktop. I would disable that, but you have the choice. Okay, accounts, Deepin ID, display, personalization. You can read all of that. It's telling me there's an update. Check for updates. It says when I first got on, it showed that there was updates. There's a little red dot that makes me think there's an update, but it says your system is up to date. And then when I was in the software center, it looked like it needed some updates. So let's see which one it is. There is some system updates. Okay, there's just some of those little communication things that could confuse a user, could confuse me. Well, it's set up to date, but then when I saw the little red dot telling me it needed one, there was a little notification telling me it needed an update. That's a little thing, but something to be noted. You can see your information right here. Power management is here, whether it's for battery or plugged in, and personalization. You can do auto, or there's the dark theme right there. I can give it more transparency if you want to see more or less transparency, which I appreciate. Very cool. They've got the magic lamp or scaling down. So there's your whoop, whoop. If you care about that. Your icon theme that we looked at earlier, cursor themes, and your standard fonts and sizes of those. It looks like you can decide what your default applications are, etc., etc., etc. Oh, look at this. Okay, that's cool. If you want your classic menu like this, or if you want to expand it like the more modern Mac menu choices here, and now I can look for Print Manager, and there it is. That's pretty cool, guys. Okay, and then this breakdown, this menu is pretty awesome. I will give them the menu is cool. So let's take a look at the system tray, and down here is the music player that we minimized. We've got keyboard and the volume, network, and you can minimize the system tray here. You also have a little keyboard there, which is great. Power options, your calendar, trash can, and notifications. Great. Now, I'm not going to go through all of these Deepin specific apps. LibreOffice is what comes with it, which is an excellent open source office suite. And you can see you can get your classic applications. I want to see if with the terminal, I'm going to search terminal. I can do something like this. Sudo apt install Kden Live. Okay, do I not remember my password? What's going on there? Sudo apt install Kden Live. It should be my same password that I set up for my user, but it's not working. Log out. So let me see something here. Okay, my password works just fine. Why is it? Why do they have it where if I want to have access, let's see, let me try again, terminal. Okay, guys, I'm getting a little frustrated here because I want to do what I want to do. Every other distribution I've used, I've been able to use sudo to make changes in a way that I need to make changes. And this one is not letting me. Right now I'm trying the update to see if it addresses what I'm dealing with. I'm not sure why I don't have sudo access, and I don't know how to fix it yet. New user, new Linux user. I'm sure there's a quick and easy way. but for some reason I'm having a problem. So we get to see the updates, and hopefully that'll address it. I can see down here that my user is set as an administrator. Let us go to terminal. Let's try to install Kdenlive. And for some reason, sudo is still not working for me. For some reason, my user has not been given access to that group. And I'm having a problem with this whole setup. I can't seem to find a way for me to be the administrator, even though right here, I should be able to make it the administrator. It says I'm the administrator. This is a frustrating review. By the way, they added a little search feature right there. That's great. How about face recognition? That would be cool. Oh, no thanks. I'm done. I'm done with Deepin 20 point whatever I was on and Deepin 20.5 for a couple of reasons. Oh, look, it's beautiful and unusable. Can you tell I'm a little frustrated? Man, I'm frustrated. That's just messed up. I mean, sudo's there, it's set up. I see the file, I see all these things, and I can't seem to figure out what's going on. I can't even see who's on the group. I can't see it. Okay, this is how they want you to gain administrative access to your file system. They want you to go to their file manager, right-click in a clear space, open as administrator, put in the administrative password, and now you have access to these pieces. Why? I don't understand. Okay, great. Package cache wiped. Thanks, brah. It looks like they have what they consider to be an administrative function to have administrative privileges for specific pieces. So if I need to access a place on my root directory, then I can right-click, put in my administrative password, and go from there. However, if I wanted to sudo apt install something or any kind of sudo situation, it's not going to work. And I want you to notice we are on 20.5. This first little graphic here says Deepin 2004 released. And it's sending me to this graphic piece that this release that was done in January is still what's showing on this software center or whatever you want to call it as a part of their sweet, awesome, hot apps. They haven't updated this. I don't care how pretty this is. This is a frustrating experience. I was hoping to do a video on Deepin, check out maybe the face recognition, check out and see what's under the hood a little bit, take a look at the graphical interface of Deepin, and I'll tell you, it's pretty. It's attractive to me. I might try to look at it and take the desktop environment in with Arch or with Ubuntu or something like that, because there is some great UI. There is some visually pleasing. Things are laid out well. That menu is killer. I love it. I want that menu. But as soon as I open up the terminal and sudo anything, blocked down. I can't do it. Now, yes, I can set up administrator and access the file structure, but I don't like that. When we got to the App Store, their software manager, there were still things that were there that shouldn't be there anymore. I was on Deepin 20.5, and they were announcing Deepin 24.4 had been released. And before that, I went to their download place that said this was 20.5. Let's go to the browser. Let's go to Deepin. Let's go to English. So I go, you see this here? Deepin 20.5. Download. Great. I will go to the download. I will go to their official download. And you know what happened? It wasn't 20.5. It was 20.4. This says 20.5. Any of these should allow me to get that 20.5. I didn't get it. If you can't tell, I got a little frustrated. And here's what was so frustrating. If this whole Linux distribution was just a big ball of junk, I think I wouldn't be as frustrated. I'd say they've got a lot of work to do. This is looking more like an alpha release or a beta release versus an actual final release. But that's not the case. And it's frustrating because some of the UI was so great. Some of the applications that they have baked in are great. Functional, simple, are great. But come on. And then on top of that, I had to check yes or no. I had to check the end user license agreement. If I'm doing something proprietary like Windows, Mac OS, I expect that. But it's a little harder pill for me to swallow using open source software. What do I think of Deepin OS? I'm a little frustrated. I'm disappointed, but hopeful, at least in the desktop environment. It's pretty. It's functional. It looks great. I had no way of accessing, at least in its current situation, a way for me to use and access some of the Debian underlyings that are supposedly there. Now, I'm trying to use this as a user, just going through and what I expect the developer is trying to give me as a user and an experience that they are trying to provide. And maybe I'm already spoiled with some other options, but I'm going to suggest that if you liked the look and sense of this desktop environment, I would suggest using another distribution with that desktop environment. I would not suggest using Deepin. I did not get to test the face recognition. I'm attributing that to a couple of things. Once, when I was trying to find it, I was in the wrong version. And two, I'm attributing it to the fact that I was on a virtual machine. But do I really want facial recognition? I don't know if I do. I think it's cool that you can open up your laptop with your face. In one sense, that feels okay. I haven't had this kind of frustrating experience with a Linux distribution yet, which I think is a good thing. I think that the fact that I've been through so many Linux distributions and this is the first one that is driving me mad, that's a good thing. It just means it's not for me. Maybe you like not having sudo access. Maybe you like signing an end user license agreement. I don't. Anyways, thank you for sticking around to this video. I hope you enjoyed watching me get frustrated, but thank you nonetheless. See you next time.